let me go to Jose because as a former hostage, you're on the other side of the story, and so could you share with us, of course, what your family was going through, but also were you aware of the efforts that were happening by your family, by the government, or any other entities?
Yeah, it's very interesting, this question, because as you said, it's the other side of the story. Our particular case, when this happened to us, really the first year we really was literally unaware what was going on because really we were isolated. I remember Jorge is here. We were separated. I saw Jorge like 1 year after, 10 years, almost 1 year after. Even that we were got the same day, I saw him like 1 year after. I didn't know what was, even where he was. We were totally separated.
So you were separated into different sections?
Yeah, yes, yeah. I went to I was put in a place that they call the submarine. It's a vessel that was totally locked. We had no windows, no fresh air, no nothing. I was with Gustavo, one of my colleagues, and I stayed there like 10 months. When we were changed to the new place, is that I saw Jorge and the other guys. We had no clue they were. And we didn't have no clue what was going on in the world. We didn't have no clue what day was because we lost the sense of time. And at some point we learned that the U.S. ambassador was expelled. So the situation was really, really, really bad. So after that, we learned that in that first year, our family was instructed by the government that they stay silent, that they were trying to negotiate behind the scene. So the first year didn't happen nothing. And by that point, we already were having talkings because we were put together. And even though we were not in the same place, but we had the opportunity to have some talks. And we began to say, hey, I think this has to go public. But it was kind of surprising for us that our family already was thinking to do that. Before we went to them, they already had organized. And there was a guy that, I don't know where the guy appeared, but he was a pro bono guy that organized a campaign. And it was a real media campaign they launched. I remember we were always surprised because we were getting information that their family was even going to the press almost every day. It was like a boom, boom, boom. And it began to create a lot of noise. And at some point, that's where created the name of the 606, appeared the name of the 606, because maybe for them was more easy say that instead of mentioning the six of us. So the situation, when you see the other side of the coin, you don't have no control of no situation, absolutely no control. In my case, at some point I began to smuggle a letter with my wife. We were receiving some food after 1 year, because the first year was terrible. Everybody lost tons and tons of, and I lost 100 pounds. And the other 15, 60, everybody was, you know. So when we began to receive some food, we decided to begin to smuggle letters and begin to have communication with our family. So there's where we learned that everything was going. And after some time, I don't know, 1 year and a half, I don't have the time. One day I remember that my wife, in one of the letters, she wrote me that they were having a meeting here with the U.S. government in Washington, and the day after there was going to be a gala with a foundation called the Foley Foundation. And that day I learned, because she read me, that there were Americans in Iran, in China. You know, we were not aware of the situation. We really thought that our case was unique. And we learned that day that this was something bigger. And when I came out, already I was aware about the situation, because our families, and one of the guys that was with us, his daughter was one of the creators of the Bring Our Family Home campaign. So we were aware that was going on something there. And at that point, at that time, we already were having better communication, and we heard that they were going to put the faces in the mural. So we heard there were things going on, but no control. Everything was going without our control.
Yes. Jose, I want to ask you a slightly different question now, because again, as a former hostage, you are experiencing on the other side of the story. You have the experiences. How difficult was assimilating back into society, being away for such a long time, being away from family, not seeing the changes in your family, in your neighborhood, all of that you had missed during those times?
Well, this is a very nice question, because when we came back in October 1st, we stayed 10 days in the military base in San Antonio, and that decompression process they call pizza. Not a pizza, P-I-S-A, pizza. Okay, so I came back to my house October 11. October 12th, I did a first interview on TV, because for some reason I was when I began to realize that all this situation was happening to others, I said, "Wow, Jose, you have to do something." So what's up? You know, my personal decision, and 1 month after, I was in Georgetown in the mural. I remember that I told my wife that I wanted to do a quiet trip to take, some photo, and it began to be an event. It was an event. I remember that Neda, she hosted me in her house, and well, it became an event. And when I met all these families, I began to meet all these families. I remember I met the family of Luke Denman, that he was in the cell beside us. We saw him every day. When I met his father and his mother, I began to meet all this family. I said, "Wow, Jose, you had to do something." And since then I have been unstoppable. Sure. I decided to be unstoppable.
Well,
I decided to go unstoppable. That doesn't mean that I've been going through situation, because I went to a trauma center. I'm still having a therapist every week. I remember she telling me that, you're going to begin to have episodes 1 year after. I'm going to have 1 year in 2 weeks. So, but this is Jose Pereira. I decided to go vocal. Today I have a community in LinkedIn, in Facebook, in Instagram. I do audio events. I try to educate people. I have a newsletter. So I decided to go vocal, because for me this is something that has to be stopped, and the people doesn't know. Every time I talk about this, it's jaw-dropping. The people don't know the situation is happening here. Exactly. So I'm doing it in an organic way. I'm doing it by my own, trying to educate people, and I decided to do it that way because, I don't know why, but I decided to do it that way.
Well, great. Well, I'm glad you're back, and it's great that you're unstoppable. We need that. Yeah. Well, thanks for doing that. Yes.
Yeah. We need more.